Right, hello, lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Underwear. Today, huge news. No time to waste whatsoever. It is deadline day, but Celtic could very well pull off one of the best signings of the summer. No joke at all. No gags, no pulling your legs. This very well could be one of the best signings of Celtic summer. This guy's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. But before we go any further, if you guys are enjoying the content and you want to help support the channel, you know how to do it. Click the like button, click the subscribe button. Helps grow the channel, and I thank you all for that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm sure you're all waking up to the news now, but Oliver Abildgaard is set to sign for Celtic today on deadline day. According to a tweet from Fabrizio Romano, Celtic are set to sign the Danish international. An agreement has been reached. Deal is in place, and now just waiting to sign the contracts officially. Apparently, as well, I've read from a couple other outlets that a medical has already been completed. How this flew under the radar, I will have absolutely no clue. But still, we're not here to talk about the rumors because the rumors seem pretty concrete. The rumors seem almost certain at this point. So let's get to know the lad, shall we? Now, he is a mammoth, 6'4", 26-year-old defensive midfielder currently playing for Rubin Kazan. Yep, Rubin Kazan, the same place we signed both Starfelt and Haksabanovic from. Now, he's 26 years old, of course. He looks about 18 and 6'4". Big body, but let's look at him as a player and some key stats. Strengths. Boy. You know, look at him, right? Looking at these key stats, right? Last season, he was pretty much the best of all CDMs last season for defensive duels and aerial duels won. He was in the top 2% for interceptions per game and top 5% for possession wins in the opposition's half. He won 50% of all attempted tackles and averaged 48.5 passes per game. So those stats themselves are very telling, and if we go into his strengths and weaknesses, you pretty much can understand it from what I've just stated. But strengths, aerial ability, he is going to be an absolute menace in the air, both defensively and offensively. Reading the game, and by that I mean his interceptions. You know, he's a menace in the air, but he's a menace on the ground as well. His long legs, 6'4" legs, nothing gets past them at all. And of course, his defense is just out of this world right now. Weaknesses, shooting. Look, he's a CDM, he doesn't really need it, but, you know, it is still something that he could have potentially worked on a bit more. Now, if you go watch his highlights on YouTube, this lad is scary good. It's by a mile. He was Rubin Kazan's best player last season. What was a disappointing season overall for them. They got relegated from the first division. And if you watch the clips, you will see how everything I've just stated about him is completely and utterly true within the first 30-40 seconds of the video. How good of an interceptor he is. Like I said, the long legs, they will just pick the ball out of nowhere. A menace to get past, you know, even when the opposition is trying to cross the ball or cut the ball back, you know, and make a pass like that. He reads it so well that it just goes straight to his feet, or it just ricochets off him and goes out of harm's way, you know. And if you can't tell, I'm so excited. I really want this deal to go through. You know, he reminds me of Vinicius Souza, if you all remember him, the lad we failed to sign earlier in the transfer window. You know, strong, off the ball, on the ball. He can dribble, he can pass, literally everything you want from a dominant CDM. It's almost ridiculous, you know, in his highlights, how easily he can just bully the opposition. This is the sort of player that the fans, and myself included, have been crying out for: a ball-winning physical CDM. No nonsense. You know, I've seen some comparisons of him to Near Baton, but he's better than Baton. He's 10, 20 times, not 100, but 10 or 20 times better than Near Baton. He's the player who will push Callum McGregor further up the pitch, which is another thing that a lot of fans have been asking for and think that he is wasted in the CDM and he could be much better utilised further up the pitch. You know, this addition really, it will make Celtic's squad ridiculously overpowered. And more specifically, Celtic's midfield will be ridiculously overpowered. Last night we saw against Ross County, we have Aaron Moy and David Turnbull both getting starts. Aaron Moy was superb, by the way, right? And they're both backup midfielders. Aden Yusuke Itaguchi, backup midfielder. Starting midfielders, Callum McGregor, Rayo Atate, Matt O'Reilly, incredible players. That's already 6 quality midfielders in our squad. Add a 7th, and it's almost overkill, but you can never have overkill because in football, anything can happen, injuries and whatnot. So the fact that we'll have 7 first-team caliber midfielders in our squad, I don't know how Ange has pulled it off, to be honest with you. And, it's a signing where if he does come in and he does play the way I expect him to come in, he will push Matt O'Reilly or Rayo Hatate out of the squad purely because Callum McGregor will have to move further up the pitch, meaning Rayo or O'Reilly will miss out. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Squad rotation is great. But as for our starting 3, our strongest starting 3, there's going to be some competition, isn't it? Because really, no one's ever challenged Callum McGregor for the CDM spot. But if he gets pushed out and he starts, and he's the captain, of course he has to start. So you have to push him further up in the midfield. Someone else has got to go. And it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be an absolute dogfight for those midfield positions, and each player is gonna be pushing themselves to be the best that they can, and it's gonna lead to just a perfect storm for Ange, right? And you know what makes this deal even so much sweeter? We will probably sign him on a cut price deal. Ruben Kazan, I mentioned it earlier. They've just been relegated. Look at the deal we did with them for Haksabanovic, £1.5 million. When he was just only signed a season ago for £6 million. We'll probably bring in Abildgaard, for a third of what he's worth. He himself is worth £6 million. We'll probably be bringing him in for 2. And I have to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like I'm daydreaming right now. When this video comes out, maybe he'll have already been announced. Hopefully not. Hopefully this video will come out and it'll still, he'll be announced, maybe in the 11th hour or whatnot. But regardless, I'm trying to fathom how good of a signing this is. Clearly there is a good relationship with Celtic and Ruben Kazan because we're just about to sign our 3rd player from them in just over a year. And look, for me, right, if you can't already tell, I'm buzzing. I'm probably not making much sense right now. He is a cracking player. I am 100% for this deal, This is the type of player that I would not be up in arms. I would be more than content if the fee was, £4 to £5 million. I would be like, yeah, that's a player I'd be willing to spend that much money on. He has the quality of a player worth that value. 26 years old, prime of his career. And it's just another find from Ange, who is just going to drastically improve the quality of Celtic squad. We're not, and it goes back to the mantra, we never stop. On the pitch, off the pitch, whatever. We never, ever stop. And this squad is continuously improving and never stopping to, and Ange never stops to impress me. How he could build off last season's incredible transfers, I will never know. But this window has been pretty incredible so far in terms of incomings and outcomings. And Abildgaard will just be he'll be the cherry on top, even though he himself is 6'4" and is probably the base of the cake, and probably would, he looks scary enough that he'll hurt me if he hears me call him the cherry. No, don't worry. Anyways, I couldn't end the video though as well without crediting Michael Nicholson for getting this deal done so swiftly. Like I said earlier, the medical was done yesterday, or even I don't even know when, but it's already been completed. This is a transfer that seems to have taken maybe 48, 72 hours to complete. But also, well done for him with the Albi and a Yeti transfer. Somehow, we've managed to insert a £2 million option to buy after his 1-year loan at Stromglaz or wherever he's gone off to. £2 million. I would have been happy to pay myself to drive him to the airport to get rid of him. The fact we can get £2 million back for that, for just the awful signing that it was, it's just a work of art, isn't it? It doesn't make sense, but it is still an option to buy. Fingers crossed. But if we can somehow recoup £2 million from that, we're in dreamland. You know, it's just beautiful. But that is all from me. So if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Leave in the comments below your thoughts on this Danish Donny. I think it's Oliver. Oh, I've forgotten the name already. Yes, Oliver, a build guard. Let me know your thoughts on him. He, for me, just seems like a tank, a rock, a wall, whatever you want to call it. Top cracking player. Bring him in. That's all I have to say, and get him ready for when I don't think he'll be ready for the derby on the weekend. The Real Madrid game might come just too soon for him, but the next Champions League night, I think he will be fit and ready to go, and I think we're going to be seriously impressed by this lad. But until next time, hail, hail.